Hi, I'm 𝐒𝐞𝐬𝐢𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐢𝐿𝐼, a Filipino social science teacher, and in this episode, we will decode the history, customs, and traditions of romance in the Philippines. And this is Virtual Centro Rizal Educational Series. In general, families, communities, and even the state have an interest in romance and marriage because marriage serves political, social, and economic functions. Marriage is a social institution, but at the same time, it's a personal relationship. And here in the Philippines, we see family as the basic unit of the society. It functions differently. Marriage is a way to consolidate wealth, transfer property, construct alliances, and organize the division of labor. So a lot is at stake when two people marry. But before we even go to marriage, the first part is the phase we called panliligaw or courtship. First, let's discuss what courtship is. Courtship in general is a period of development towards a sexual relationship wherein a couple gets to know each other and decide whether there will be an engagement. It may be an informal or private matter between two people, a public affair, or a formal engagement with family approval, which is very important in Filipino culture. Now, there are 5 stages of courtship. First is attraction. This is where we get the initial interest when we meet people. Meron tayong paghanga. We notice them from afar, or we see them on social media. We get attracted to them. And then, we interact with them. This is the time when we want to get to know them. In our culture, we often use harana because we are all singers. We're a culture of balladeers. So, in the digital age, harana has been reimagined through technology. We have seen, I hope you've seen it, virtual serenades via video calls, or surprising people singing through telegrams and messengers, and even TikTok performances, which serves as modern equivalents to our traditional harana. I hope you have also seen some flash mobs and public musical proposals that are also our modern haranas, also bring with them the harana spirit in new creative forms. So these adaptations show that harana is not just a relic of the past, but a living tradition. You see, the traditional harana may be declining, but of course, we are a country of balladeers and singers, and we really cannot get away from singing. Aside from harana, we also write letters. We also do text messages and chatting. And that's our initial way of knowing people and maybe testing the waters whether they also like us. The third one is the courtship proper, where we formally pursue someone. This is what we call the panliligaw or the paninilbihan, where we do our personal love language, or what we call act of service. And then we also do formal visits at home. The fourth one is commitment stage, where the two individuals are now officializing their relationship. In Filipino, we call this kami na or tayo na, where we do relationship labeling. Official, are we official? Are we exclusive? So that's the fourth stage. And the fifth stage, once you're already exclusive, the fifth stage is the engagement. This is already the formal agreement to marry. And this is where our usual pamamanhikan and family meetings happen. The tradition of panliligaw or courtship in the Philippines traces its roots to the pre-colonial times, before the Spanish colonizers came here in our country. Early Filipinos engaged in courtship as part of a broader community-based relationships, which is deeply tied to family and clan structures. Courtship was seen not just a pursuit of love, but as a family alliance. Among its oldest forms was paninilbihan, act of service or rendering service, where a suitor would perform household or farm work or get water from the river for the woman's family to prove his sincerity and ability to provide. Kaya niya na. Symbolic exchanges like the 𝐕𝐢𝐫𝐭𝐮𝐚𝐥 or the dowry formalize the intention of marriage. It is not in a way where they want to purchase their bride, but it's a way of proving that they can support a family. During the Spanish era, panliligaw evolved into a more formal and conservative process, which is heavily influenced by our Christian faith, the arrival of Roman Catholicism. Practices such as the harana gained prominence and characterized by romantic songs sung by suitors beneath a woman's window. Courtship was usually done under the close supervision of family members to preserve the woman's honor and the family's reputation. When the Americans came in the early 20th century, they introduced Filipinos to Western-style dating, which includes going to cinemas or school dances or what we call as prom and letter writing. By the post-war era, modern technologies such as telephones emerged. Then later, the text messaging, which further transformed panliligaw into a more personal, less family-centered affair. Now, your parents do not know if you're already engaged with other people because of these technology. Today, panliligaw has been redefined by social media, online dating, our applications, and changing gender roles, blending tradition and modernity. While our panliligaw or courtship as a formal concept may be fading in some circles, its essence of showing effort, sincerity, and respect remains alive, especially in rural and conservative communities. Pamamanhikan, which is part of the fifth stage of courtship, is traditionally considered as the formal act where the suitor and his family visit the home of the prospective bride to formally ask for her hand in marriage. And this remained as one of the most enduring Filipino customs surrounding courtship and marriage. We still practice this today. But of course, there's some evolution as to how we practice this. In earlier times, pamamanhikan was a highly structured event involving formal negotiations between two families. This meeting often addressed practical concerns such as the dowry or the 𝐕𝐢𝐫𝐭𝐮𝐷, wedding preparations, and discussions about the couple's future living arrangements. Is it matrilocal, where they will transfer to the woman's family, or patrilocal, moving to the man's family? It was not just a romantic gesture. It was a formal pact symbolizing the merging of two familial lineages. Over time, pamamanhikan has undergone considerable change. While the formality of the bride price discussions has largely disappeared, especially in urban and middle-class Filipino households, the symbolic significance of this custom endures. Today, pamamanhikan is often a friendly family dinner where the man is being introduced to the woman's family, where both sides meet to express support and approval of the couple's intentions. In some cases, it takes the form of a casual meet and greet, but in more traditional settings, especially in rural areas or among conservative families, the full ceremonial aspect is still maintained. Now, in the present time, pamamanhikan serves less as a negotiation of material arrangements and more as a ritual of social solidarity and affirmation that they respect each other's families. It underscored the Filipino emphasis on marriage as familial. We always involve our family in all our decisions. It's not just a personal decision. Even in highly urbanized or global influence communities, couples often still feel the cultural obligation to perform pamamanhikan before proceeding to formal engagement or wedding plans. The blessing of our parents is really important.